Today's session is going to take us right back to some of the basic Tai Chi movements. Do remember to listen to your own body and keep everything well within your comfort zone. If you're new here, then click that subscribe button and then you don't miss any of the content here on Freshfield Fitness YouTube. Okay, let's get started. Taking our feet hip width apart into that parallel stance. Do think about your posture. It's one of our Tai Chi principles. So we are grounding our feet into the floor. At the same time, we are lifting up through the crown. You want to feel like you're a piece of string being pulled from top to bottom. Keep all your joints tension free, nice and relaxed. Tuck your tailbone under or down. And whenever you're bending your knees, think about a sensation of sinking down and rooting and grounding your feet into the floor. Keep your abdominals engaged, so pulling your belly button through to the spine. That will help you maintain a good strong core. We're going to calm down the breath, and today we're just going to place our hands on our tabletop, and we're just going to take the hands over to one side and then bring them back to the center, and take them over to the other side and bring them to the center. So inhale, exhale, nice and gently, calming down the breath, and like we are just moving our hands and our fingertips, running it through the top of some water, calming it down. Going to bend our knees, knees travelling in the direction of toes. And bring the hands up and then place them back down on the tabletop. So bending the knees, bringing the hands up, circling round towards the body and down to the tabletop. Let's do that again. So repeating that. Following the hands, a little twist in the waist, and again. Take it down. So we're going to repeat all that with our feet slightly wider and sink into that horse stance. So bringing the hands to the tabletop. I'm going to take it over to one side and back to the centre. So trying to create that mind-body connection. I want you to focus your mind on your palms of the hands so there are Lao Gong points. Sinking into horse stance. Lifting up and placing on the tabletop, and again. So knees travelling in the direction of toes whenever you're performing a knee bend and a sink into the horse stance. Moving on to side bow, just taking our weight over to one side and bringing it back, but I'm still thinking about that posture, high to low, and the other way. So adding those hands, taking it across. So now we've got the side bow and that movement and transfer of weight. The hands can go a little bit further. So now we're warming up, sinking a little bit deeper, keeping that torso tall. Nice and slow, and again. Adding on a next move, I'm going to take the hands across to the side bow. I'm going to flick the wrists nice and gently. I'm going to turn this toe out and I'm going to push. And I'm going to bring it back to our central position. So that's that. Repeat that again. Let's do the same side. So sliding across to side bow. I'm going to flick the wrists, turn that foot and push. So you almost end up in a bow stance here. And bringing it back to centre. To our side bow. Flick and push. So really feel like you're moving your hands through water. Adding that natural resistance. Again, another one of our Tai Chi principles. Keeping that torso tall. Let's repeat that on the other side. So lifting up, sinking down. Over to our side bow. And then we're going to flip the wrists and push. Turning that foot out. And bringing it back. Making sure the knees are staying in a safe, comfortable position. Like I'm pushing something heavy out of the way. I've got that natural resistance to this movement. So we're going to bring our feet together and we're going to do our stepping into our opening stance. So think about your posture. I always take the opportunity at the start of a Tai Chi form to ground my weight, to lift up through the crown. So thinking about that posture and that alignment, getting as best as I can and clearing the mind and focusing my attention on the present, being mindful of my movements, focusing on the dantian here or on the lao gong points as I move. So nice and quiet. So we're going to breathe in and we're going to breathe out, and we're using the exhale to sink the weight into the floor. We're going to peel the foot off and place it, repealing it down onto the floor. Center the weight here, nice parallel. Knees tracking in the direction of your toes, and then we inhale and we exhale down to the tabletop. I'm going to shift the weight across to that side bow and then stepping in to our starting position. Let's repeat that on the other side. Breathing in, breathing out, sinking the weight, peeling the foot, placing it down, center the weight. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms lower. And take it over to the side and step in. Let's go again. smooth and steady motion, taking care. Staying controlled, harder than it looks. So if you like a progression here, take the foot slightly wider so we can sink into a deeper lower horse stance. And then again over to our side bow. And the other way. Repeating again, and this time we're going to add our flick of the wrists and that slide over into our bow stance. So I'm taking it over to the middle. I'm going to flick my wrists and take it across. I'm going to bring it back to my horse stance and across and stepping in. Let's repeat that on the other side. To the centre, pushing out to that bow stance. Bring it back to our horse stance, over to the side and stepping in. Try to keep it nice and slow and steady. You should feel it quite challenging for your leg strength, your balance, because even though we're not lifting our foot off the floor, we are balancing by transferring the weight over to one foot and then over to the other. Final time. Bringing my feet to parallel stance, turning them out slightly. And we're going to sink the weight over so we can release this foot, heel toe into our bow stance. So do check the knee, it's not coming too far over the toe. Keeping the posture tall, it doesn't have to be a big position. We're rocking back and then we're going to step to the side. We're transferring the weight over, heel toe into our bow stance. Nice positioning here. We're rocking back and then we're stepping to the side. So let's just place our hands on our hips for now. Rocking back and stepping to the side. If you can, staying under that low ceiling. Okay, so we're going to add our Fair Lady Works the Shuttle today. So holding the ball, we rotate the ball, one hand drops to the hip, other hand up to hold the mirror. Then we're going to turn that hand, and as we do so, we're going to use the twist of the waist to push through this hand into a push. Remembering to keep the elbows soft, and then we're going to hold the ball with the opposite hand on top. We're ready to rotate, hold the mirror, turn and push, and then bringing it back to our ball. So we rotate, and then we push, and we bring the hands to the ball, and we rotate, and we push, and we bring the hands back to the ball. So let's add that to our alternating bow stance. Turning the feet out slightly in our parallel. We're going to sink the weight. We can tap in here if you like. We rotate to our hold in the mirror, and at the same time as the heel. And then as we transfer the weight to our bow stance, that's when we do the push. We rock back, and it's the top hand that becomes the top of the ball. We sink the weight, we rotate and heel, and we push through to bow stance. We rock back, and top hand, top of the ball. Sink, rotate, and push through. And we sink, rotate, and we push. I'm going to turn around and do a few with my back to you. I know it's not that interesting to watch, but if you are following on, I think it's easy sometimes, easier to follow me. So let's do it this way. So again, I'm going to start with my left hand holding the ball on top of the ball. So I'm sinking in, I'm doing a rotate, I'm pushing, and then I rock back, and right hand comes to the top of the ball, I'm sinking down, I'm going to rotate, hold the mirror, and push through. Left hand on top, sink the weight, rotate, add that direction if you can, stay low if it suits. Yeah, well done guys. So we're going to go back to our opening stance. We're going to add our push into our bow stance, and then when we come here, we're going to hold the ball and add our Fair Lady Works the Shuttle. And we're going to step it in into a little flow. Okay? Feet together. Again, take the opportunity to think about that posture. Clear your mind, focus on the dantian, focus on your moving hands, creating that mind-body connection. Breathing in and breathing out, opening stance. Center the weight. We're lifting up, we're sinking down. Over to our side bow. Flip those wrists and take it across to our bow stance. Bring it to our horse stance, and then hold the ball. Rotate and push, and then rock it back, and let's just step in, and then we can repeat it on the other side. So breathing in and breathing out, opening stance. So the wider you go here, the lower the horse stance, and the lower that side bow, and the further you have to travel with your push push. Bring it back to our horse stance. Hold the ball. And then we rotate with the heel and we push. And stepping in. And again. So slow and steady, nice and continuous. Really feel the flow now. You feel like you're getting the movements, the little sequence. Let's do it one more time on each side. Okay, so moving on, we're going to do a little bit of balance work. So again, if we start with our feet parallel, slightly turned out, I'm going to put my hands on my hips, remind myself to keep my core engaged. I'm going to sink the weight, I'm going to tap here. I'm going to tap in and tap out. So keeping the weight on your supporting leg. Keeping the hips aligned, lifting up through the crown. This time, add a lift and hold. And again. And then step into the side, sinking the weight, slightly turned out for a wider base for your balance, into empty stance, and we're here again. In and out, keeping the balance. I'm going to tap in and lift and hold. Let's do alternating. So we're going to step to the side, get the weight there, and then tap. And again, step to the side, sink the weight, and tap. Let's add our golden rooster. So thinking about that posture, keep that belly button through to spine, calm breathing, finding somewhere to focus on in front of you will help. When you want to hold your balance, so this time we're going to do golden rooster, stands on one leg. And again. So just listen to your own body. Decide what suits you best. Great one to help with your balance. And stepping in. Let's gather the chi. Big inhale and exhale, and then bringing it to rest at the dantian. Thanks for watching again and following along with this session. Do subscribe if you're enjoying them, and I shall see you again soon for some more Tai Chi and Qigong here on YouTube Freshfield Fitness. See you now, bye!